Have you ever watched a show that no one else seems to remember? A show where you happen to randomly come across it in a spare moment where you normally didn't watch TV? So you took to the internet and used odd but like really accurate words like cheesy, girl in wheelchair, cyber museum. And when you found it, you were like, oh yes, that's it. Honestly, I've got a few shows like that, but the one I'm talking about today is MythQuest. Now, I want to do a video on the entire show as a whole, but honestly, the first episode alone is like crazy. If you don't believe me, just watch an excerpt from this trailer.
On their quest to find their father,
ever seen this guy?
Their own heroism is tested as they cross into a cyber world of mythic imagination, where tales from around the globe come to life through the characters they meet. Gods, goddesses, demons, wizards, monsters, and many more.
Tell me that wasn't just like the most hyped trailer you've ever seen in your life. And like, how many cuts was that? Like, look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Just one after the other. You can barely tell what's going on. I kind of wish they still made trailers like this. Like, could you imagine what a theater would be like if it was like this? People would literally be jumping out of their seats. Originally, this show was filmed and produced in Canada and aired on my local PBS station. The show only has one season, but it's still great. And with that, let's get right into the episode. The first episode is called The Minotaur. We're first introduced to the dad who is scanning artifacts. He's doing this because he's trying to make his own cyber museum. We then get a call from a coworker where we find out that dad probably shouldn't have these artifacts. I guess he's like borrowing them, but even though he runs a museum, he's not supposed to have them. Kinda like someone else I know. By now, you probably also realized there's like Vietnamese subtitles on there. I don't know what to do about them, so I'm just gonna leave them on there, all right? Now, this is where things start to get a little weird. When I first rewatched this, I had all sorts of red flags going on. After looking at a particular artifact, their dad goes and wakes up both of his kids, introducing us to the main characters, Cleo and Alex. Both interactions seem fine, but what makes it kind of weird is what his wife says to him after.
You gotta stop doing this.
I wasn't.
Yes, you were. You've been waking them up in the middle of the night since they were babies.
Okay, why would you do that? That is so weird. What? I understand what the context is. Like, I get what she means, but you guys didn't have to go and make it that weird, okay? After tampering with the artifact, Dad finds what can be best described as the poo crystal. So without hesitation, the dad uploads it into the Cyber Museum. We then find out that this fabulous rock happens to be a virus.
I was searching around the internet.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I deleted the virus.
See, now what makes our virus unique is that this virus is actually an evil spirit named Gorgos. And by putting the poo crystal online, the evil spirit has been released. So what does he do? He kidnaps Dad by sucking him into the Cyber Museum. Later, we cut to the officers interviewing the mom, who after having her husband disappear is like not fazed at all. Her and the officer are like cracking jokes together. Look at her, she's literally smiling right now. Oh, you're saying he just like disappeared? Ah, dang, that's a shame. Oh well. Milo then decides to go online and check through the Cyber Museum, only to find that all of her dad's artifacts have been rearranged. To which Alex says,
Talk about tight graphics, man.
oh yeah, dude, this thing's got heat, man.
It feels so real. Like he's just reaching and grab something.
Go ahead.
After Alex touches the screen, he gets transferred into ancient Greece. Immediately, Alex comes face to face with three dudes dressed as bulls, who for some reason aren't even fazed that he just like appeared in the middle of their arena. But instead of fighting the bulls, Alex spots a cage full of people and decides to hop in with them. It's here we figure out that Alex and his sister can actually communicate to each other.
Wait a minute, you can see me?
Everything.
Everything.
Alex, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you're in ancient Greece.
I think so too.
Background girl number 3 gives us some inciting information that will not only happen to all of them in the pit, but will inevitably happen to all of mankind.
We're all gonna die.
At this point in time, Alex and his sister figure out that he's inside the myth of the Minotaur from Greek mythology. Now while inside here, he doesn't actually look like himself. Instead, he looks like the hero Theseus.
Isn't somebody gonna say something? I mean, isn't somebody gonna do something? I don't think so.
Not me. I'm too scared.
Me too.
You know, I don't think you are. She is. She definitely is. But you not so much. Word of advice, maybe during serious moments like this, don't smile. Otherwise, people will think you're a psychopath. Kinda like Alex's mom. The guards decide that the people have not yet been entertained, so they decide to throw Alex back in the fight. While in the fight, Alex unmasks one of the cow dudes, and the king decides to give a grand monologue where he decides that the guy who Alex just fought should be fed to the Minotaur for taking off his mask. Where if you listen, after he's shoved in there, you can literally hear his flesh being torn apart.
PBS Kids!
Later that night while in the pit, guards come and take Alex into the castle. While alone, his sister decides to give him some really sound advice.
You have to get out of there.
You don't say. After that, the princess comes in and she's not much for words.
It's makeout time!
We then get a little context of the story.
You're the only one who can kill my brother.
Your brother?
Yep. The god Poseidon sent Minos, a great white bull, to sacrifice. But Minos found it so beautiful that he decided to keep it. So the god made the queen, Ariadne's mom, fall in love with the bull. And one thing led to another.
Yeah, I did not need to know that. Holy cow. That's actually part of the myth too. Whoa. You know, I shouldn't even be too surprised that something like this is in some Greek mythology. Over in Norse mythology, there's actually a story where Loki gets with a giant horse, and Loki gives birth to the horse that Odin rides on. So, yeah, I guess that was a thing. And that's as far as we go on that.
The Minotaur is a poison that's destroying Crete, and you are the only one who can stop it.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm willing to betray my father to save his kingdom. I just need to know that when it's done, you'll take me with you.
You want me?
Kill the monster.
Alex,
I gotta go where the gods send me.
I go where the gods send me? Give me a break.
You got a better explanation?
Courage and love. Is there a better explanation?
Yeah, nice try, sis. Dude's clearly in love. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? Go look for his dad? Yeah, I guess that's important too. After this, they then go talk to Icarus and Dados, the same Icarus that flew too close to the sun. And I forgot to mention this before, but the queen and her servants just sort of start throwing stuff onto him without explaining why. Apparently this is her attempt at disguising Alex as a girl. Dados then gives Alex a magical thread that will lead him to the Minotaur, and also tells him where he can find a sword. Back at the jail cell, another dude tells Alex that they could probably escape together, but Alex is just like, no. Alex is then sent into the cave.
I'm scared.
There's nothing to be scared about.
Try the Daedalus string.
Alex follows the string and finds the sword he needs. As he ventures deeper, he finds the same kid who wanted to escape before, except this time, he's not being very poggers. So after a bit of monologuing, we find out that the guy who wanted to escape is actually Gorgos. Oh my gosh, who could have seen this coming? That's crazy. For those who don't remember, Gorgos is the dad napper.
The virus!
After a bit of sword fighting, Alex is unsuccessful at slashing him because he's a ghost virus. Now this next part, you just kind of have to watch for yourself.
That's tricky, though. There's a surprised look again. You know, seeing the way you handle that sword, I'd say the beast has nothing really to fear from you. Oh dear. I woke the baby. Showtime.
Now, I don't know why, but I found myself captivated by this small scene. Now maybe it's just me, but for a second there, I thought I could see some decent acting. Finally, the Minotaur shows up. And oh boy, he is honestly terrifying. For a PBS show, this is as scary as it gets. For some reason, I get like Hurley from Lost vibes. Not because he's heavier set, it's his hair. Look, I get it. Okay, it's a great look. You pull it off brilliant. Please don't hurt me. After running around the cave for a bit, Alex gets the Minotaur to bonk himself on the head, and with a mighty slash, Alex slays the Minotaur. Alex then leaves the cave, and we're greeted by our favorite band of extras. After this, Alex and the princess decide to have another makeout sesh. All while his sister watches in disappointment. Then out of nowhere, we cut to Dad, who all of a sudden has decided to show up. Now, where was Dad before? Who knows? Who cares? He realizes he can actually see Alex and goes to reach out to him. But right before he can shout his name, Gorgo shows up.
Sorry, Dr. Bellows. You're invisible to him.
It's you, Gorgos.
I thought you'd be happy to see me scholar to scholar, so to speak.
Where am I?
Certainly no place like home. I'm sorry. I thought a little touch of humor might be appreciated at a time like this.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it again. I think he's a great actor. Anytime he comes out, I love it. Can we please get more Gorgos? Thank you.
Alex! I don't lie. He can't hear you. He can't see you. Nobody can. Alex!
Unable to hear his father, Alex realizes that the amulet that the princess has is the same one that he touched on the screen that sent him here. He decides to touch the amulet, and ta-da! He's back in his dad's office, where his sister just gives him the most middle school drama production stage kisses you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, thank God.
Stop kissing me!
Dude, you don't be a jerk about it. She missed you. Later at school, his sister sums up the myth for him.
You, or Theseus, broke her heart. She was promised to Dionysus, and under threat from the gods, he gave her up.
She married a god?
That makes you happy?
But you can't really get jealous about a god. What about, Gorgos?
He's not mentioned anywhere, not even a word.
Oh, and Theseus. Did he get home?
Yes, but after he lost Ariadne, he sailed home under black sail. And when his father, King Aegeus, saw that, he thought it meant his beloved son Theseus died, and was so overcome with grief that he threw himself into the sea.
He died?
For his son. Supposedly that's why they call it the Aegean Sea.
Yep, it's a sad myth. Anyways.
So you're saying that Theseus killed his father?
Well, by mistake, but yeah, I guess.
Hello, if I was Theseus and Theseus killed his father, does that mean I killed Dad?
Okay, so they've just had this sad moment together. And you might think, oh, that's how it ends. I mean, that's a little sad, but, you know, it is what it is. No. It ends so much worse.
Afternoon, Bellows. Your makeup exam? The take home?
Yes, yeah. Listen. Last night,
Last night, you were...
I was busy.
Busy. Ah.
Cut the dude a break. He just lost his dad. And that's how it ends. You're having problems at home? I've got a solution. Detention. You were out up last night looking for your widow daddy? Tell that to your grades. Probably not the way I would have ended it, but, you know, to each artist their own, I guess. All in all, the show's not too bad. The poor dialogue and bad acting kind of made things interesting. The overall theming and effects definitely haven't aged well, but part of you still wants to love it. It still has a nostalgic value that I cherish. Was it cheesy? Sure, but that's what makes it great. When I was younger, I didn't know a lot about the myth of the Minotaur, and honestly, this episode taught me everything I needed to know. I can't imagine why it didn't get a second season, but I guess there's just some things we'll never know. Truthfully, this is the only episode I've ever seen, so I have no idea how it ends. Depending on how well this does, Maybe I'll make a follow-up video. Boy Wonder, out.